Marriage is, as we understand it across the various religions and cultures, to be a sacred institution. It is something that women have been socialized into accepting as a fundamental of life from a very young age. So many of us would have grown up knowing that we would go to school, pursue a higher education. If that was something that appealed to us, then we would need to find a suitable partner, settle down, have children, and the cycle of life would then continue. I am still a proponent for marriage. I do think that there's a lot of value in it, from a societal point of view and from a personal point of view as well. But I do think that in order for a marriage to be successful, it needs to be based on mutual respect, mutual understanding. And in reference to respect, we can give respect, but we also need to expect respect, and we need to be willing to receive it. And what I've found in current times, and it's not relevant to any particular cultural or race group, it's actually across the board. Many women have now reached the point where they seek validation in relationships from the person that they're with. And this can be detrimental to the relationship, because there are times where women give up good qualities of theirs or give up on their dreams just to fit into the idea that their partner has of them. And this idea that some partners have are not always well intentioned. So there are, regrettably, some men out there who do not know how to accept the success of a woman. So they tend to want to bottle up that success, and weaken the women, so that they can remain in control, remain powerful, or in their words, remain men in the relationship. And women tend to buy into this and fall into this out of hope that things might get better, out of wanting to save the relationship, save marriage, or simply because their self-esteems have been broken down, to the point that they do feel worthless, and that the only way that they can actually feel like they have a contribution to make to the world is if they get a little pat on the back from their partners. I will, as I always do, use myself as an example. I have over the years heard everything and anything, from you're too educated to be in a successful marriage, you're too empowered and independent to be in a successful marriage, you're too fat, and then conversely, your diet is too restrictive, you don't like hiking. By the way, I just hiked a few days ago, so let's have that one put to bed. Or you're too fat, your nose is too red. I mean, I've heard it, like, honestly, I've heard it all. And I used to internalize all of these things, depending, on who it was coming from. I tried to adjust myself, out of that hope, out of that low self-esteem, out of wanting to be accepted, that I didn't realize that I also needed to be doing the accepting of myself, and of the other person. I needed to be happy with who they were and what they brought to the table and how they treated me, as opposed to just being this canvas that would get painted in whatever way that would be appealing to that person. And it takes a lot of maturity to understand that, especially if you're a strong and successful person, because how I would look at myself, for example, would be that I've done X, I've done Y, I've done Z, I've done everything that I can, and yet you don't see me as good enough, so I'm going to try harder. I'm going to try harder to become better so that you like me. But that's not how it should work. A relationship works both ways. The person has got to like you from the beginning. They have got to support you from the beginning. They've got to respect you from the beginning, and vice versa. You shouldn't be giving up good qualities. Compatibility is so important, and we throw the word around, but not many people understand it, because you have that initial meeting and you talk about your hobbies and what you enjoy doing, but it's more than that. It's how you view life, how you view people around you, and what you're willing to accept and what you have the maturity to accept. And I think that women have this huge responsibility upon themselves now, to stop placing themselves on a weaker footing. When you are meeting a potential spouse, you need to be asking questions. You need to be honest about who you are, honest about what you're looking for, and don't try and fit into a box that somebody else sets for you, because if you do that, you're going to lose out on who you are as a person. And God forbid, should that relationship end, or should that person pass away, you would have lost not only the person, not only the relationship, but who you are. And it is very difficult to pick up the pieces after that. And aside from that, you need to feel fulfilled in your life. And I honestly believe that there's somebody for everybody out there. You just need to be open to finding the right person, and it will come. But it should never come. A marriage or relationship should never come at the cost of abandoning good values within you. If we're growing together, if we're growing to become better, that is a different story. But if you are leaving behind good characteristics, good dreams, for the sake of someone else, then that is something that you're going to have to reconsider quite closely. This is my view on this. Agree with me, disagree with me, but I honestly think that as women, we need to be more forthcoming, and we need to really, really think about what a relationship would look like where we are accepted, as opposed to a relationship where we've sold ourselves short, sold our souls, and then decide on which one's best. God bless.